me and even kept me awake at night thinking about my neglect. But I'm sure you will not blame me for my silence. You know how I love you. You are all we have, Dunya and I. You are our everything. What a grief it was to me when I heard you would give up the university many months ago. For a lot of means to keep yourself, and not your rest your little teaching job and other work. How can I help you out of my 120 rubles a year pension? The 15 rubles I sent you 4 months ago, I borrowed, as you know, from Vasily Ivanovich Varushkin, a merchant, on security of my pension. He wrote here. Your sister has been working on me for the last 6 weeks and we shall not be separated in the future. Dunya has a suitor. She has already consented to marry Petro Petrovich Varushkin. Of course, there's no great love on his side or on hers, but Dunya has a heart of an angel and will make it a duty to make her husband happy. Dunya and I are to set off to Petersburg very soon, possibly in a week. Dunya is all excitement at the joyful thought of seeing you. She said in a joke she would marry Petro Petrovich for just that moment. She bids me send you her love and innumerable kisses. Shall we meet you so soon? Perhaps I shall be able to send you 25 or even 30 rubles. I would send you more, but I need to worry about my travel expenses. If only you are happy, we shall be happy. Do you still say you place your dear interests in the mercy of our Creator and our Redeemer? I'm afraid in my heart that you have been visited by a new spirit of infidelity that is abroad today. If it is so, I pray for you. Remember, dear boy, how in your childhood, when your father was living, you used to lisp your prayers at my knee, and how happy we all were in those days. I embrace you and send you a mother's blessing to me. Goodbye till we meet, and I embrace you крепко with many kisses. До свидания. Двое доброда. Плерия раскольников.
Never such marriage while I'm alive! No, mother, no, I dare say. I see it all. You are our comfort. You are everything to us. Ой, мамаша, великолепно. Splendid. Splendid! Ой, мамаша, sacrificing your daughter to me. Великолепно. Просто великолепно. What's the point of it? For herself, for her comfort, to save her life? She's not going to sell herself. But for someone else, she's doing it. For what she loves, she will sell herself. That's what it all amounts to. For her family, she will sell herself. Freedom, conscience, peace, she will sell everything. Everything.
It's clear that Rodion Romanovich Raskolnikov is the center figure in this business, and no one else.
I won't have your sacrifice, Duna. I won't have it, mother. It shall not be, as long as I live. Не приниму, не приниму.
It shall not be? And what are you going to do to prevent it? You forbid it?
No. Something must be done now. Do you understand? And what am I doing living upon them?
But what can you do?
Should I throw life altogether? Stifling myself, giving up all the claim to life, love, and activity? Понимаешь? Понимаешь? Do you understand what it means when you have absolutely no
Every
return?
man must have somewhere to turn.
And the next day after it, when it will be done, I will stay fresh.
After it? Is it really going to happen? Is it possible? Will it happen?
Что же это я? I knew that I could never bring myself to it. So why am I torturing myself? Why am I going over it again and again? Why am I hesitating? I didn't do it. I knew that I could never bring myself. I couldn't. Can I?
What kind of criminal are you?
She's the first rate. I always get money from her.
But she's an awful old harpy. On one side we have this stupid, senseless, worthless, spiteful, ailing, horrid old woman. Not only useless, but doing actual mischief, who has no idea what she's living for, and who will die in a day or two in any case. Понимаешь? Понимаешь?
Yes, yes, I understand.
On the other side, dozens of families will be saved from destitution, ruin, vice, log hospitals, and all from her money. Kill her! Take her money! And then devote yourself to the service of humanity and good of all. Would not one tiny crime be wiped out by the hundreds of good deeds? One death and thousands of lives in exchange. It's simple as that.
But that's against the laws of nature.
Well, then we have to correct and direct nature.
Would you do it yourself?
Of course not! I was only arguing the justice of it. It has nothing to do with me.
Is it justice? If it is, why wouldn't you do it yourself?
I wasn't serious at all. It was only a fantasy to amuse myself. A plaything. You have unexpectedly learned that tomorrow at 7 o'clock, Lizaveta, her sister and the only companion, will be away from home, and that therefore, at 7 o'clock precisely, the old woman will be left alone.
Simon, 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 Simon,
At 7.
Simon, 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 Simon.
Why did I assume this with certainty? I want to attempt to think like that, and I'm frightened by these trifles. Yes. All's in a man's hands, and he lets it all slip from there. What is it that women are most afraid of? Taking a new step. What is a new word? But I'm talking too much. It's because that I chat and do nothing. Or is it that I chat because I do nothing? Learn to check this last month, laying in dead for days thinking. I don't want to do this. Is it serious? It's not serious at all. It is. Why almost all crimes are so badly concealed and so easily detected? Why almost every criminal is a subject to a failure when prudence and caution are most essential? Does disease gives the rise to the crime? Or does the crime from his own peculiar nature is always accompanied by something of the nature of disease? Боже мой. I had the money to leave from yesterday and didn't buy a new cap to Wednesday. I knew it! I thought so. A stupid thing like that. The most trivial detail could spoil the whole plan. I want you to notice it. It looks absurd. It makes you to notice it. This grotesque, Impossible. Неужели 7:30? Неужели? Good evening, Alona Ivanovna. It's me. I've come. I brought something. Well, we better come in to the light.
Да господи! Да чего вам? Кто такой? Что вам угодно?
Alona Ivanovna, you know me. Raskolnikov here. I brought the pledge. I spoke of it last time. Why'd you look at me as though you don't know me? Take it if you like. If no, I'll go somewhere else. I'm in a hurry. Take it.
Да чего же ты, батюшка? Что такое?
A silver cigarette case. I spoke of it last time. You know.
Да что ты такой бледный? Вот руки дрожат. Искупался, что ли, батюшка?
Fever. You can't help getting pale when you're nothing to eat.
Что такое?
A thing. A silver cigarette case. Silver. Look at it.
Да как будто из серебряная.
Silver, silver. Silver. Silver, silver. blood in a pocket because I put one purse in a pocket. So the reasons are not quite exactly yet. I still have some sense. I still have some memory. I guess it all by myself. She simply forgive me of fever, mine is severe. Эти вот песок is soaked with blood. Боже мой! Without lingering. Once. I wanted to get it over with. If I'm lost, I'm lost. Неважно. Should I put it back so back on? It will get dustier, and traces will be gone. There! I've got it! Put this on back on. No, this is too much for me. Here, it's a trick. Worse than it all that I'm almost lightheaded. I'm around something stupid. If anyone questions me, I'll simply tell. I'll give in. Fall on my knees. Yes. Everything. It all has been done deliberately and not idiotically. Look, I'm even having checked what's inside the purse. I don't even know what I have there. It's because I'm very ill. I've been worrying and fretting myself for days. Yes, later day. Yesterday all this time I have been worrying myself. I don't know what I'm doing. I shall get better. I shall not to worry. I shall get better. What if I don't get better at all? Sick of it. Это происходит. За что и как это можно? Funny. No doubt. It's all about that. Oh, yesterday. Господи! Could I have gone away? Это кровь! It's a blood. I'm well. I'm perfectly well. The man, the murderer of a poor and broken woman. Evidence. Сегодня. Today, something must be done to me. I can't go on living like this. But how? How to make it end? If I had to live on some high rock or some narrow ledge, an everlasting darkness, an everlasting solitude, an everlasting tempest around me. If I had to remain standing on a square yard of space all my life, 1,000 years, eternity, it would be better to live so than to die at once. Only to live, and live. Live life, whatever it may be. How true is Greta, how true. Man is a vile creature. You're a madman! For God's sake, let me be, позволь мне быть. Enough! I am done. These fancies, imaginary phantoms, terrors. Life is real. My life has not yet died with that old woman. Haven't I lived well just now? Kingdom of heaven to her. And now enough! Leave me in peace. Now we will see. We will try our strength. I'm very weak at this moment. But strength is what one wants. You can get nothing with it. And strength must be won
I've been expecting you here for some time.
Что как? Expecting why? So they don't even care to hide that they're tracking me like that of the dogs. They simply spit in my face. Come, strike me openly. And don't play with me like a cat with a mouse. It's hardly civil for you to approach. And I won't allow it. I shall get up and throw the old truth in your ugly face, and you'll see how much I despise you. Finish again. Is the fear just small for you now? Of course, it's nonsense. So you're trying to upset my nerves with your teasing me. Either way, you know, it's you are wrong. You don't catch me. There are no facts. It's all supposition.
Yes, a hypothesis. There was an article written by you which interested me. On crime or something? I forgot the title. I read it with pleasure 2 months ago. I was very much interested. Very, very original. What did it say? Oh yes. Ordinary men have to live in submission, have no right to transgress the law because, don't you see, they are ordinary. But extraordinary men have a right to commit any crime and to transgress the law in any way just because they are extraordinary. Do I remember it correctly?
I admit you have stated it almost correctly. Perhaps the only difference is that I don't contend that extraordinary people are always bound to commit breaches of morals, as you call it. I simply hinted that an extraordinary man has the right, which is not an official right, but an inner right, to decide in his own conscience to overstep certain obstacles. The list of men such as Lysander, Mahomet, Napoleon, they were all criminals without exception. They did not stop short of bloodshed, and that bloodshed often innocent people were abused to their own cause. They were doomed to terrible carnage. In short, I maintain that all great men, or even men a little out of form, must be criminals. More or less, of course.
You're saying that there are people who have the right to kill others. These extraordinary people.
Extremely few numbers. 1 in 10,000, perhaps, I don't know, speak roughly. The man of genius, 1 in a million, and the great genius is the brown of humanity appearing on earth, perhaps 1 in many thousands of millions.
What if a man imagines that he is Muhammad or Napoleon and begins to remove all obstacles?
I admit such cases must certainly arise.
Well then,
That's how it is and how it always will be. Society is too well protected by prisons, criminal investigators, penal servitude. There's no need to be uneasy. You have to catch it.
and when we catch him,
He gets what he deserves.
that would be logical. But what about his conscience?
What do you feel about that?
Simply from humanity.
If he has conscience, he will suffer for his mistake. That will be his punishment as well as the prison. He will suffer if he is sorry for his victim. Pain and suffering are always inevitable for large intelligence and deep heart. The really great men must, I think, have great
When you were
sight.
writing your article, surely you could have helped fancying yourself as an extraordinary man. Just a little.
I don't contend myself being Napoleon nor any of the person of that kind. And because I'm not one of them, I cannot tell you how I would act.
Oh, come on, don't we all think of ourselves as Napoleons now in Russia? Perhaps it was one of these future Napoleons who killed Alona Ivanovna last week.
They had facts, I mean, real facts, or at least grounds for suspicion. They would have tried to hide their game. But they have no facts, not one. It's all a mirage, simply floating idea. Perhaps he has some other plan. He seems like an intelligent man. Perhaps he has... Oh, perhaps he wanted to frighten me by pretending to know. The old woman was a mistake, but she's not what matters. The old woman was an illness. I didn't kill a human being, but a principle. I killed a principle. I was only able of killing a principle. Life is given to me once, and I shall she'll never have it again. Oh, how can I make such slip? Can anything compare to the horror of this? I shall never forgive the old woman. Я никогда не прощу! Никогда не прощу! Oh, how I hate the old woman! I feel I will kill her again if she come back to life. Is it a dream? Мечтали, мечтали.
I am dishonorable.
The worst sin is that you've destroyed and betrayed yourself for nothing. Isn't it frightful that you have to live in this filth, and at the same time you know that you're not helping anyone, right? Not saving anyone from anything. It would be better, 1,000 times better and wiser to leave you to the water. Like a mad creature
What's to
already.
be done? Что мне делать? Что мне делать?
What's to be done? Break what needs to be broken, once and for all, and take the suffering on. Don't you understand? Freedom and above all, power. That's the goal.
If I leave a man alone, but let him know, or at least suspect every moment that I know all about it, and I'm watching him day and night, he'll be bound to lose his head. He'll come off himself. I assure you it's a regular gold mine for us. And it's no anxiety to me he's running about the town free. Let him. Let him walk about for a bit. Пусть ходит. Пусть. I know well enough that I've caught him. That he won't escape me. Where could he escape to? He has nowhere to run to. He's psychologically unable to escape me. Oh, what an expression. Что за выражение? Have you seen a butterfly round a candle? That's how he will keep circling and circling round me. Freedom will lose his attractions. He'll begin to brood, he'll weave a tangle round himself, he'll worry himself to death. Then he'll keep circling round me, getting nearer and nearer, and then, flop! He'll fly straight into my mouth, and I'll swallow him. And that will be very amusing. Just wait.
This is beyond a cat playing with the mouse. He can't be showing off his power like this with no motive. He's far too clever for that. He has some other object. I know it. What is it? You're pretending to scare me. You want to make me lose my head, to crush me. But why give me such a hint?
A murderer. He will lie, and he will lie well, in the cleverest fashion. You might think you the truth and enjoy the fruits of his wit, but at the most interesting, the most flagrant moment, he will faint. That's what betrays him. His conscience. He puts himself forward where he's not wanted, speaks continually when he ought to keep silent, comes and asks, "Why didn't you take me long ago?" "But why are you so pale, Rodion Romanovich? Is the room stuffy? Shall I open the window?"
I see clearly that you suspect me of murdering the old woman. Let me tell you for my part, I am sick of this. If you think you have a right to prosecute me legally, to arrest me, then do it! I won't let myself to be laughed at. I won't allow it! I'm allowed.
He'll drive himself out of his mind. I assure you, he'll lose his head.
Money? I don't even know if this was any money. I simply took a purse off her neck. A purse full of something. If I killed her because I was hungry, I should be happy. I have a bad heart. That may explain a great deal. I I'm a coward man and a mean wretch, but I must be there. Which is so hard to begin. I wanted to become a Napoleon. That's why I killed her. I asked myself this question one day. What if Napoleon, for instance, had happened to be in my place, and instead of Egypt and the passage of Mont Blanc, it would be an old hack, a pawnbroker, who had to be killed. But he didn't. I sat in my room like a spider. Low ceilings and tiny rooms crammed the mind and soul. Oh, how I hated the garret. I wouldn't go out of it. I wouldn't on purpose. I wouldn't go out for days. I wouldn't work. I wouldn't eat. I just lay there doing nothing. I preferred laying still and doing and thinking. And I kept thinking, and I had dreams. Strange dreams. And then I began to fancy. And then, for the first time in my life, an idea took shape in my mind, and I saw it clearly as the daylight. I wanted to have a dairy. And I killed her. I just wanted to have a dairy. That was the whole cause of it. But it was the devil leading me. It was the temptation of the devil. I know it. I wanted to murder. To murder for myself. It wasn't to help my mother, to gain wealth and power. I just did it. I wanted to find out something else. I wanted to find out whether I am allowed like everybody else, or whether I am a man. Whether I can overstep barriers or not. Whether I can pick myself up or not. Whether I'm a trembling or I have a right. Did I kill the old woman? I killed myself. I crushed myself once, forever. But it was the devil who did it. I know it. Разве я убил? Делал себя. Я разделил себя раз, и навсегда. Но это был дьявол, который убил. Не я. Хватит. Это мой. When do you mean to arrest me?
Well, I can let you walk about another day or two.
And what if I run away?
No, you won't run away. You won't hide. You can't hide from yourself. If you ran away, you'd come back to yourself. For suffering is a great thing. No, you won't run away, Rodion Romanovich. You won't hide. Папочка, папочка, боже мой! Папочка!
За что же?
Папочка! Папочка! Боже мой! Боже мой! Боже мой!
За что же? За что же? Боже мой!
Боже мой! Боже мой! Да боже мой! Папочка! Папочка!
I did it. Это я.